Good morning. Good afternoon. All right. If you are watching this, that means that you have watched the daily videos and tried the practice problems and checked out the answers to those. Maybe try to investigate the ones you got wrong. Um, and now you're on this weird paper that the sub handed out. Okay. So this is actually something that I've done because, like I said to you guys yesterday, um, homologous chromosomes are really important to understand when you get into studying genetics and DNA and all that stuff. And we haven't done DNA yet. So I want to make sure you have a really good, solid understanding of what homologous chromosomes are and the different types. Most of the groups, you guys, I talked to you yesterday and kind of started to tease it out. But this will give you some good practice on it. So up here at the top, you're just going to define haploid, diploid, replicated, and unreplicated. And this is just a picture, like an image of a cell that is haploid, a cell that is diploid, and a replicated chromosome and an unreplicated chromosome. Replicated and unreplicated are terms that I mean, they're obviously real words, but I kind of use them a lot to try to maintain clarity. If you guys remember from the cell cycle during the S phase, DNA copies itself. And at that point, a chromosome it goes from what looks like this to what looks like this. What makes this more complicated is it doesn't really look like that in the S phase, because in the S phase it's chromatin and it's all untangled. This is when they're coiled up, but it's just easier to see what's going on here. So an unreplicated chromosome is just one copy of the DNA. A replicated chromosome is two identical copies called sister chromatids attached at the centromere, and then they have kinetic cores on the side so they can be pulled apart right during cell division. So replicated and unreplicated, and then homologous and non-homologous are important to understand as we start to learn about meiosis. So this would be two identical copies of DNA. Now you might be like, why is she acting like it's so confusing? They're called sister chromatids, and this is just one chromatid. But remember, once they separate, this is no longer called a chromatid. It's now just a chromosome, because they're only called chromatids when they're together. I don't know who decided to do that. I'm sorry. If I was in charge, I would have made it more clear. So I just try to refer to replicated chromosomes and unreplicated chromosomes. Now, one of the other things I talked to you guys about yesterday was that whenever you're looking at a movie, a video, a diagram, an image of meiosis, you need to first figure out, okay, how did this artist differentiate between different types of chromosomes and the different members of a homologous pair? Because those are different too, right? For humans, we have 23 different types of chromosomes. They're named by just number, which is just determined by length. So chromosome number 1, there's 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, 2 number 3s, all the way down to 23. Those come one from your mom, one from your dad, biological, obviously. So they have different DNA. The two, I call them homies because I'm cute like that. The two homies have different DNA because they came from different people, but it's the same genes. All right. So like if right here, if this is a pair of homies, then if like the hair color gene was here, I should really zoom in there. Sorry. Actually, let's look here because it's a little bigger. Nope, we went, Kara. All right, we're going up top. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so if these are two homies, and like the hair color gene is right here, then, and let's say this was a gene for brown hair, then this one would be the identical gene for brown hair because the two sides of an X are identical copies. But over here, this might be blonde hair or red hair, or it might be also brown hair because you inherited one from one person and one from another person. So it's different DNA, but it's the same like gene setup. We'll talk more about this, but I just want you guys to kind of get into the mode. So for this worksheet, I, like a jerk, didn't differentiate between the two members of the homologous pairs. Okay, so I made different patterns for different types of chromosomes, but I made the two homies look exactly the same. It's actually on purpose because I want to talk about it. I want you to understand what you're looking at. All right, so these have different DNA. They just look the same because I want you to be able to find the homologous pairs. All right, Sorry. And also, I don't have a scanner, so that's why you're looking at like a picture of my worksheet. Okay, so for each cell down here, there's 6 of them. You're going to determine the N number, the 2N number, the haploid, whether it's haploid or diploid, and replicated or unreplicated, or whether the chromosomes are. So I'll just talk through the first one with you. So here you've got 4 different types of chromosomes. Okay, so 4 different types. So your N number would be 4. Your 2N number would be 8 because that's just math. This one doesn't have 8 chromosomes because it only has 1 of each type. So that means that it is haploid. And these chromosomes are unreplicated because they don't have the 2 sides of the X. They only have the 1 side. So this would be 4, 8, haploid, unreplicated. 4 because there's 4 types of chromosomes. 8 because 2 times 4 is 8. Haploid because there's only 1 of each chromosome. Up here, there's 2 of each chromosome, right? So this would be a diploid cell. And then unreplicated because these chromosomes have not yet been copied. So if you can just fill this out, shouldn't take you too long. The ones that are empty, you have to draw the cell, okay? And then we'll just talk about that when we reconvene on Friday. And what I'll also do with you is talk about, all right, well, when would a cell look like this? When would a cell look like this? When would a cell look like this? Like a cell that's haploid with unreplicated chromosomes would be a sperm or an egg right after it's been formed. Okay. Actually, not right after it's been formed. It would be a sperm or an egg. That would be a haploid cell with unreplicated chromosomes. So we'll talk about all of these different cells and when a cell, what kind of cell and when a cell would look like that. And that'll, I think, really cement your understanding as we start this process. All right, guys. I hope you had a good day, that you got your way through those videos, and I'll look forward to kind of wrapping this all up, the meiosis part of this unit, Friday, and we'll have your unit plan to you by Monday. All right. Have a good one. See you later. Don't miss me too much. Where are my controls? Oh, there they are.